What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Today's recap, kind of rough here, and it's mainly because I cut a big bag hold position that I've had. So while I'm down pretty big, it is kind of liberating in a sense to get that sold and off the books there. So we're going to review it. We're going to show you how bad it was and talk about it. But first off, today, what is it? July 30th, 2021. And overall, realized down, let's see, 5,619. That's a hard one to swallow. Yeah, it's just rough. It is what it is, and I'm going to show you what it was on. It was SXTC. But first, let's kind of show you a little bit of the performance and show you what else I traded. Today, starting red right out of the gates, down 159 bucks. TAOP was the one I traded at first. Moved on over to AHPI. And I was kind of chopping around a bit. I went from negative, got back to neutral, then started going positive. Got all the way up to, what was my high was 215 bucks. And then from there, chopped down a little bit more, then came back up. Just going sideways, really. And then started losing some there, went back to neutral. And then SXTC is where I lost. I decided to cut my loss with SXTC. That was a bag hold that I've been holding for a little while, and that was my biggest loss. So there's some big numbers I suffered on that. But either way, let's quickly go over, let's look over TAOP. This one, let's see, right out of the gates, this is a little tricky in here. I thought it would go for another run, and it was very quick to bounce around. So the thing was, it was slow. It was actually slow trading, but I guess the problem was this. I guess the spreads were so large that in areas like this, you have a complete flush very fast. Then it resolved that even quicker. Came right back up to this level. So I was watching this level to see if we would have a breakout. We never got it. It faded and then just sold off. So that was TAOP. Not much good there. AHPI, I think, was the next one here. Now, I was a little frustrated with this one because if you look at the yearly chart, we did, okay, well, it's obvious that this has been a former runner, had a huge move back in February. And since then, there's been a few days, sorry, I got an itchy nose. There's been a few days where it popped up, and it's gone on these little runs. More recently, what was it? July 13th, I had a nice run, even on July 19th. So I was watching this one to see if we'd, come up, and we did. So there was a good move initially on that, but the rest of the day it just kind of chopped around. I think it got pretty crowded. It traded 109 million shares today, so that's quite a lot. So a lot of people, I think, were in this, which is why maybe we didn't have as much volatile moves as I thought we would get. But initial good move here went into a halt towards the morning, but kind of tricky in here because you thought it might go for a little bit further, but we had this really dramatic sell-off and a bounce back out of there. And yeah, this one for me, I just chopped around a whole bunch, trying to capitalize on some of these moves, but with the scalp trades I got in and also quickly, and the losers I did cut, but it felt like the losers were a little bit more substantial than those winners. So kind of tough, just bouncing around. Let me know how you did it on this one today. I want to hear if you guys kind of chopped through it as well, or if you found that there were really super clean moves for you and you were able to really capitalize on it and not lose much money. Love to hear your perspective on it. But yeah, as you can see, we did hit this peak up here, but it did not follow through. It came right back down and trended down, then just went sideways. So there was just this range all in here. Kind of difficult for me, at least. So that was AHPI. I got a few trades on MRIN. There wasn't much movement there for me. And like I said, let's just go ahead and jump right into the bag hold that I've had, SXTC. This one, now the problem I had with this one, let's look at the yearly real quick. Okay, so I hopped into this trade, and the big mistake I made was, I guess I didn't look over it long enough is in regards to the yearly chart, because it's obvious, long time, it's just been selling off. But we've had some areas like in the past here where it had a nice run up. And particularly on this day, what was it? It was July 16th. I went in. And problem I had is I went in pretty heavy. So this thing was ripping and it was going fast. Volume was there. And the thing with it is that I hopped in and my share size was just so large on it, and I think I might average down into it as well. So I got an average cost of like 207. So I was sitting at 207, which is pretty high up there. And we ended up having a dramatic sell-off, and I was holding about like a 10K position, very large. I should not have been leveraged up that high into it. That's a pretty big position. And what happened is it fell hard, and I ended up holding it. And since then, you can see we've just had this not dramatic, but a slow bleed on it. And this is just the worst position to be in that hoping state of, oh, I hope it turns around and I hope it bounces back up. And if it does, I'll have an opportunity. But I don't know. When you just zoom out and look at the real trend on this thing, I mean, just all downhill. And I think that's the way this stock is going to go. Now, it might have a future pop in the future where, hey, it goes all the way back up to, 450 or even beyond. But the truth to me is, unless there's some like serious legitimate news for this company, that it's just going to go right back down to where it was trading at. So anyways, that was my mistake, and I've been holding it for a while, and it's been a slow bleed off. So I should have, even the next day, just sold it. I would have been way better off just selling it the next day, even when it was down lower. So today I had to cut the loss because I did see that it was having a quick run up, and I knew this is the only opportunity to take less of a loss if I just sell it now today. So I tried to take positions. I'll show you. Let me zoom in. I had what was the total share size? I had 8,000 shares, and I think it was 8,000. And I tried to split those off into like different prices instead of just selling all at once. What happens here is I saw it was spiking this morning, and I go, okay, this might be an opportunity to finally cut the loss. As it was curling up here, this thing is just there's just not enough volume, really, not much to really sustain anything. And so when you do get a move up like this, it just doesn't hold. It just flashes up super quick and comes right back down. So I had a bunch. I basically split them off all into 1,000 share size positions, and I was selling all throughout. So I got a couple different fills. I think a few at like 143, one at like 145 or 147, and then one or two further down, like 139, 138. So I got out of that position, and it was a huge hit for me. So I don't know what the total loss on it, but it had to be about 4 to 5K. So pretty substantial loss. And like I said, it's the worst thing about day trading when you get into holding these bag position and hoping that they'll eventually turn around. They just, for the most part, now sometimes you get lucky and they do have a pop that you might get out neutral or even positive on the position. But when you're trading small cap stocks like this is just an absolute shitty stock to me. Horrible stock. And I should just never have gotten into the quantity that I was in, and should have been quicker to sell my loss as that unfolded. It's hard to take that sometimes, you know, when you go in a big size and you suddenly backwards in a position and now you're down quite a bit. But as you can see, I mean, I would have been way better off selling, you know, even way down here in 172 would have been way better off. So I did hold, was waiting for that next run, and we got a pop, but it wasn't really sustained or anything. So horrible stuff, and I'm suffering the loss from it. So on my calendar today, this was where I was at. Let's take away this position from today and just show you. I was up, you know, positive 2,800 bucks, and unfortunately, you know, cutting my bag hold on this position took me down 5K today, and now I'm sitting down 2K on this month. So I'm just, once again, I'm glad I got out of it, because now I got my capital back and I can use that to continue to trade. But these are the bad habits that'll get you in really bad positions. So this is maybe good, something of good video to watch, a good recap to watch, to maybe show you kind of, you know, what you shouldn't be doing. And I know plenty of people get into this position, and I try to avoid it, and sometimes it just happens. But you know, just getting better and better at taking your losses quicker, I think, will always benefit you, you know, in the day trading world. So, but anyways, guys, that's really it. That's all I got for today. Sad Friday, sad way to end the month, especially going from positive to negative. But at least I'm a little bit satisfied that I've got that nasty bag hold position off the table. And yeah, looking forward to a new month. I need to stay more consistent, need to cut those losses, and I need to make sure my red days are not massive. And I think I'll be good if I can stick to those things and come back a little bit stronger. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Take care, and we'll see you on Monday.